David Aviezer. I'm a scientist by training, Chairman and CEO of Kamari. Most of my career, I was CEO of Proteolix Biotherapeutics with the privilege of being involved with 2 FDA approvals for rare disease therapeutics. Thank you for having me.
Just one quick question. What stage is your company at? Clinical, financial, like just quick.
We're a clinical stage company, yep. And we're raising money. Hopefully we're in the final stages of a round, and we'll be happy to add in new investors if we find someone who's interested and we're interested in taking his money.
Fantastic. Nadav.
Yes, I'm Nadav Ichay. Let's say entrepreneur on the last 10 years, experting in 3D printing, established 3 companies in this area. And on the last year and a half, in July actually, 2023, I joined the startup ecosystem. I'm new here, sorry. Gero 3D have more than 300 already patients treated with our solution. We are streamlining the entire process of fractures. And we have clinics here. We're working with hospitals as well. And next month, we are in the US, Miami.
Fantastic. Davidi.
Hello, Davidi Vortman, the CEO of UltraSight. I'm the 2nd generation to MedTech founders. My father was the founder of InsightTech, so it was great to hear, Maurice's perspective. UltraSight is about shortening the time to clinical value in cardiology. And what we do is enabling cardiologists to get more data faster for patients who live remotely and have access issues to cardiac ultrasound.
Thanks. And David.
Hi all, I'm David Lazerson, co-founder and CEO at Briya. My background is in cybersecurity and data infrastructures, but for the last 4 years I'm working on Briya. Briya is a real-world data network and platform. We are accelerating drug and treatment development by providing access to data and tools and analytic capabilities to efficiently run studies. We are after 2 funding rounds. And believe it or not, when we started with Briya 4 years ago, in the very beginning, my first call was to Guy.
That's true. So there we go. Here we meet again. Listen, we want to have a little discussion to give the audience a bit of insight to what goes on in the day of a life of a CEO of a startup, especially when considering go-to-market. Like Israel's a great market for developing your technology, and it's important that we have the technologies here to help clinical value in Israel, but ultimately, VC-backed startups need to make money, and a lot of that's about where you commercialize. Can you maybe share a little bit about how important the US is for your startup? When did you start thinking about it? And any sort of roadblocks along the way you might have encountered? Who wants to start? Yeah, sure.
Yeah, sure. I'll go first. So we're now commercial in the US. Mm-hmm. And the most important factor I can say here is that start with the end in mind. So designing your market access, designing your commercial path as early as possible, because it just takes time. And luckily, we're part of the Forward Innovation Institute Market Access Program about 3 years ago, and it actually gave us such a great roadmap to understand what kind of barriers we're going to handle. And it took us 2 years, and I'll talk tomorrow on the panel of the MedTech Commercialization Institute about what is the engineering behind this, because there is an engineering. So partner with people who can help you, partner with AWS and other people who kind of connect you to the ecosystem.
Okay, anyone else?
Sure. So in drug development, obviously, the FDA approval is the holy grail that you have to reach. And therefore, working with FDA approval in mind, in our specific case, it's also orphan drug designation and so on, is a key in order to be able to, at the end of the day, get an approved product that is globally accepted. Of course, working also with the European Authority, working with US KOLs who lead the clinical development. And in our specific case, again, working with the patient advocacy groups who are more active and more focused in the US in order to create this combined ecosystem that will enable us eventually to have a drug we can offer for these patients.
Okay, great. Yeah, sure.
Yeah, so in orthopedic market, of course, everything is about numbers. So the States is obviously one of the biggest market, 330 million people, 21 million fracture each year in the US alone. So for us, it was obviously that's our main focus from day one. But we are an Israeli company. The R&D is here. So it was important for us to keep that way and to do all the first 300 patients here. And that's what we did. We work with hospitals and clinics. So we made sure that we are ready to go to the US and commercial in US before we getting there. And that's what we did.
Listen, though, but I just want to double-click there. Like, I understand you had your patients here, and a fracture is a fracture, or a bone is a bone. Doesn't matter if it's an American bone or an Israeli bone. Yet the business model of healthcare business is very different. How did you adjust to that?
So I'm relocation myself next month, so that's one of the point.
Okay, good luck.
I will be the CEO and the VP sales and everything, basically, especially in the beginning. We just came back 2 days ago from Miami, list office over there in Wynwood, Miami.
Beautiful.
Yeah, and it's a gap, definitely. It's a gap, definitely. You have to understand really carefully and investigate all the CPT code, all the process, but...
CPT codes are the reimbursement codes in the United States.
Reimbursement codes and all that. So we're doing it with a good connection of, thanks God, Jewish, there is a lot of orthopedic Jewish market in the US, and that's how we getting to those first orthopedic, and then from there to clinics and hospitals.
Yeah, no, Jewish mother said, you want to be a carpenter, be an orthopedist. Same thing, just, No, anyway. David, do you have any perspective on this, going to the US? And then I'm going to ask specifically about the MIXIII, but let's, how you face some of those challenges.
Yeah, sure. So, first of all, I was told from the beginning that every market in healthcare is different, and the US market is very different from Israeli. So, while on one hand it's true, the workflows are different, the money flows are different, all this true, but at the same time, what we revealed over time, that the decision-making process, it's actually very similar in healthcare organizations around the world. Very different from non-healthcare, and at the same time, very similar. Same committees, same concealers, same stakeholders that you need to bring on board. So besides the offline study that we needed to conduct to make sure that we understand how this specific market works and what are the processes where we want to tap in, eventually the processes, not so different, at least for us. There is a side note that we are not a clinical product. We are an operational product and a data product. So.
Yeah, no, I totally respect that. But you're selling into healthcare.
Right.
And so in terms of go-to-market, you have to deal with all the idiosyncrasies of that. We only have 7 minutes, so I want to flash, and speak directly about Miami. Before Mini MIXIII in Miami, had any of you been active in Florida already?
Actually, in Protelix, one of our early stage core investors was a group led by Dr. Philip Frost, who was an icon in the healthcare in Florida. We were privileged to have him join. So we were exposed previously to the investor community in Miami. And therefore, for us, it was an excellent opportunity to reach out again with a similar story of a rare disease, a genetic disorder that, in this case, we can even be a world leader and tap into this very interesting and, as you mentioned, a bit different type of the usual Wall Street community that we are, of course, addressing as well.
Yeah, so Florida was definitely on our radar, and we had a few healthcare systems that we started talking to, like Mayo Jacksonville and Baptist, and getting to MIXIII was a great opportunity to network with more systems, and I think Florida has such an amazing potential for.
Talk to me, yeah.
So for us, it was a game changer, I have to admit, and now I can say that it was game changer because people here doesn't know, even Karin doesn't know, but before we came to Mini MIXIII, we had 2 months runway. And after that, we secured 2.5 million.
Amazing. Well done. And you're moving. So that was like real quick. How about you, David?
So Florida was absolutely on our radar, but we didn't operate in Florida before Mini Mixi, and similar but different, it was pivotal for us, much more important than we even expected. This very short conference created so much opportunities for us, and now we actually in partnership conversation with several healthcare organizations and investors from Miami, so Miami and Florida in general. So it was particularly significant conference for us.
Oh, that's really good to hear. And we're going to wrap it up soon. There's an amazing audience here, right? So this is your opportunity to make a pitch. Like, this wasn't part of the schedule, but I'm adding it because I'd love to give startups an opportunity. So there could be, are you looking for anything? Employees, investors, partners, supporters. This is your chance. We're going to start over there and over here.
Thanks. So Kamari is developing an innovative drug for genetic rare disease, skin disorders. These are debilitating disorders that currently are a totally unmet clinical need. So if we succeed, and I hope we will actually be the first in the world to offer a treatment for these patients. We are currently in clinical trials. As I said, we are protected by orphan drug designation, so we will also be able to secure our exclusivity in the market. Currently, we are moving forward with clinical trials in these patients. We are at the verge of concluding a financial round. Of course, we're always happy to talk to new and exciting investors, and we're happy to reach out to anyone that is interested. So thanks again for the opportunity.
Thank you.
So we are commercialized in the US, and next month we will be in Miami. So first, you are more than welcome to come and visit us in Wynwood. We took a nice office over there, 150 meters. So
wait, hold on, just before that. Does everyone know what Wynwood is in Miami? Put your hands up if you know. All right. So think Florentine, but like way more organized and like absolutely amazing in terms of graffiti art and beautiful cafes and shops and tech community. And it was my first time there as well, and I was like, oh my goodness, I'm coming back here. So yeah.
So in my background, I'm an industrial designer, so now you can understood why I choose Wynwood. It's obvious. And we're looking for partners, we're looking for pilots. So if you know any orthopedics, clinics, hospitals that would like to get some innovation into the US, we're starting with 3 states, New York, California, and Florida. So you are more than welcome to reach out, and we'll change this orthopedic sector. Thank you.
Thank you. Davidi.
So I'm excited to share that in the last 6 months, we've signed 3 major partnerships. Mayo Clinic chose UltraSight to be its premium partner in the Echo AI space, and we're now working with the entire AI team to develop algorithms that will detect and manage heart disease. We signed an agreement with J&J, where one of their subsidiaries, Aviezer, is licensing technology from UltraSight, and we're going to take it to market this year. And we just recently announced a partnership with Bristol Myers Squibb, where they are going to use the technology to show that their new drug, Camzyos, can be monitored and can be accessible to more patients in the remote areas. So to launch all this by end of year, we're fundraising a major round for the company, and looking forward to working with key partners here.
That's fantastic. And look, the third point that you mentioned about pharma being a route to market and a potential source of revenues, that's a topic for another panel, because I think it's an amazing topic as well. I've seen startups really taking advantage of that, so that's great to hear. And David, any pitch for the audience here?
Sure, you provided the list, and I think I can check all the marks on the list of the requests. But yeah, so first and foremost, I think if there are life science here or AI companies that are looking for data or for platform to analyze data, we are happy to partner and work together. Healthcare organizations that are looking to unlock the value of their data, both for research, innovation, or sponsored collaborations, happy to partner as well. Fundraising, we're starting our next round in the very beginning.
Fantastic. So please join me in thanking these amazing startups, in thanking Corinne and the whole team for bringing this event, but also Mini Mixi, and we look forward to the next iterations. And just for me to say now, enjoy the rest of the day, enjoy your lunch, and I'd be very happy to also speak with you later. I'll be at the Ichilov booth together with my AWS colleagues. Thank you very much.